Hello everyone, it's me, I'm Biggie, I'm back and let's play Unlimited Saga. Right now we are heading off to Dagul Bos's Castle. As you can see here, I'm missing some of my equipment thanks to the fact that I've handed it over to Basil Gallios. So we need to replace some of the missing armor. I've got some spare, so that should be fine. You can also notice that I am placing platinum armlets on everybody so that they have resistance to blackout, which will be necessary later. Some of you might also notice that I didn't do that with Francis. He's got high endurance and relatively high spirit. So what I did was I placed a diamond crown on his head. And what diamond crown is, it's got a small status barrier. So it should prevent him from status ailments of all kinds thanks to his high endurance and spirit.
I wonder, can I defeat Dagul Bos? Can I avenge my mother and father's death?
More whining by Henri, as you would expect an emo prince. Let's head up. Well, here we are at Dagul Bos's castle. We're going to have a showdown with good old Dagul Bos, who is an Anubito, and we're just going to explore his castle a bit. If we head up and to the left here, you'll see that there's a dead end, and dead ends usually almost always contains treasure if you use guide skill on it, or familiar. Anyways, Dagul Bos's quest is it's a relatively short one. There's a lot of monsters, so if you into farming for monster rank, it's pretty much a good idea to kill all of them. Actually, if you know what you're doing in game, you could very easily maximize money, just like I have did. I spent a little bit of money buying stuff, but you could see that I've got a ton of black equipment. Anyways, let's take a look at our characters. Judy has a line of keys from top right to bottom left. It's given her a bonus to both skill and earth, so that remains quite useful. The unfortunate thing though is her magic level is actually quite low in comparison to some of her other stats, and having Seal of the Abyss and Purify and other spells like that learned in her weaker element really just doesn't help her very much. On the other hand, we have super high skill Henri. I've dumped his magic skill and went with the physical skills like 3 dragons and also his dagger, which provide him with plenty of damage. Thanks to his high skill, so of course 65 skill, Laura has a line of melee to keep her strength high, and also her fire has been maximized to a degree. And Musolyan is just plain impressive thanks to his super high strength growth, 72 strength. Over here we have a nice and well balanced Francis with high endurance, high strength and high skill. Platyphyle's strength should get a massive boost once we get her melee line going. And as per usual, we've leveled up Earth for Anzan, so his boulder does a bit more damage. Well, 65 Earth is nothing to scoff at. Anyways, let's head over to the right. There's nothing here. You can't enter the main gates through the main gates. So what we need to do is we enter through the hidden path off down into the basement. Here I am doing a bit more fast forwarding. Sorry folks, time is of the essence. Once you come up the first flight of stairs like so, you'll reach the main area. If you head down and to the right, you will come to a balcony area where there are some treasure chests. At this particular little nook, if you have a familiar or guide skill to look for it. At this point in game, as I've said before, cash is not really important. So treasure chests with cash as their prize become a good target for doing repeated fortune tellers on it in the hopes of getting magic blender. Over here, if you head to the end of the corridor, the balcony, you will come down to a dead end with a preset treasure chest. So you shouldn't really mess with treasure chests that have been placed already, since items don't, I believe items on them don't change even if you use fortune teller on them, and you might even run the risk of getting a low level magic tablet. As you can see, this large area has a lot of very large monsters. Once you head up and all the way to the left, you will have the dungeon area. If you head down these set of stairs, the dungeon area is not so important in this quest, but it is quite important in Ventus's quest. You also have this to do this quest as a part of his main quest, where you can release the prisoners in these cells to go distract the monsters upstairs. You also have Musoyanis sitting somewhere in this basement for you to recruit. And it's always good to have Musoyani in your party. Yes. Also, good place for treasure. There's a couple of treasures here if you can look for them. There's one in this room and there's one in the end room. And as per usual, just gonna keep using fortune teller. Even if I critically fail, it doesn't matter. I've maximized the gold. I can just keep using it. And I've been talking about Magic Blender a lot and saying that yes, I want one Magic Blender panel. Magic Blender, what it does is that it increases the power of spells. Usually it's just that, but then what this game has, it has a bunch of hidden spells in them. So not only could you increase the power of spells, you also have the likelihood of blending some really powerful spells, some other spells that won't be available to you unless you have a Magic Blender panel. So it's worth getting, you know, the panel, especially for pure mage characters, because otherwise, well, that's what I'm trying to do with Judy at the moment. I think most players playing this game haven't even blended the higher level magic. Some of it's really easy. Some of the status up spells are really easy to blend, but the attack spells like Crimson, was it Crimson Flare? Yes, Crimson Flare. Lots of prerequisites. I've actually managed to blend it for Joseph, I believe, since he has already one magic tablet with all the prerequisites in it, and it's just a matter of him getting a Magic Blender panel. But I guess I'll save that for much later, when I would decide to run through Kurt's quest. Anyways, this area has lots of monsters, but if you basically look around for a bit of treasure and just repeatedly use fortune teller on it, then you know, you just end up killing them all eventually, just like I did. If you are done around here, then you head to the the bottom left, like so. You should come to an area with a small path. It's a small, very linear path. It has little nooks and crannies where treasures could be. So just do the basic thing of, you know, walk around, scan areas for treasure, and head up to, at the end of this path you face with Dagul Boss. You might notice that I'm being almost unreasonably thorough with some of these treasure chests, that using fortune teller on them, even though I don't really need to. Well, it's the last chance to do this. This is the last quest you can do without turn limit. So yeah, after this, facing with Dagul Boss, you have one more chance to go to the secret adventure, and after that, then it's already the final quest. So anyways, I'll see you a bit later when I go face to face with Dagul Boss. For now, see you later.